there, welcome back to my channel. It is Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, Cancer, check the description box for a link where you can learn your whole birth chart. And that way, if you want additional messages through the week, you can always check your Moon and Rising readings on top of your Sun sign reading. This is for the week of July 4th until July 11th. I'll be using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck for the main spread here, and then pulling additional cards from the Healing with the Angels Tarot and the Medicine card Tarot. For the past couple of months, I've been asking what are general messages for your sign. This week, I'll be asking, what do you need to know? I asked it last week, and I felt like the outcome was a little bit more specific, at least for how I can be helpful. Or how these can be encouraging to you with regard to maybe assessing something you're not fully aware of at the moment or haven't looked into or considered. So that's the kind of the angle I'm coming from this week. So Cancer, I wish for you all success, joy, and wellness. I call upon Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Metatron, and Uriel to guide this reading in peace, clarity, protection, and wisdom. And I ask that Gaia please bless this reading for Cancer. So what does Cancer need to know? Wow, first jumper. So we're just looking for two more jumpers here, and then I'll move on with the interpretation. What does Cancer need to know? Right, so we're just going to get one more jumper here and look at the bottom of the deck. Energy card. What does Cancer need to know? Oops, thought that was going to jump. For some reason, this deck is really heavy, and it's just a tiny bit too big for my hands. So every once in a while, I have to put it back into a neat deck while I shuffle. Okay, so we're just looking for one more jumper for Cancer. What does Cancer need to know for the week of July 4th until July 11th? I'm going to go 3 more shuffles. If I don't get a jumper, we're going to pull from the middle of the deck. All right. Interesting. Okay, so anytime I see the Orphan card, I always see big changes. Are they changes that you want when you want them? Not necessarily. Are they probably good for you in terms of personal growth? More than likely. Interesting as well to see these both at the on the outside of the No Place Like Home card, and then bottom of the deck energy being message in a bottle. Now this is really cool because this basically means you're on the right path. So quickly, No Place Like Home, Clean It Up, and then Orphaned. These are darker cards, and I'll hold them up and explain those in a second. Darker and cold doesn't always mean bad, right? I mean, if there's something hot and on fire all the time, you need to cool it down. So if there's something going on and you're not getting to that outcome that you want, you're being forced to back up for good reason. And this is what's going on here. What's going on with regard to this process this week for you, Cancer, is about backing up. You have to back up. You have to assess. You have to figure out what this message is, where it's coming from, or to just simply heed it. It's my understanding that you already know what the message is. In a bottle means that it's coming to you in a way that you feel that is appropriate for you. Whatever that is, could be through a friend, a TV, an icon, in a store lineup, wherever you're going to hear this message, it's going to appeal to you and it's going to sit with you, and it's going to be a little bit of an aha moment, like, oh God, I knew that, I just didn't know that sort of scenario. So what do you need to know? That this message is available to you if you're not already aware of it. But essentially, it's that you have the answer. I just want to get a tiny little bit of an input from the authors. I sometimes do this because communication Right, so this one is a little bit of an odd card. This is about pointing the way to your highest good. Communication, a sign. So basically, like I said, you already know what the answer is. I'm guessing it's just about how to apply it, how to integrate it, or like I said at the very start, it could have been something you've just been avoiding because it was work or effort or it meant changes. And guess what? That's exactly what it means. And it's absolutely understandable why anyone would be avoiding doing something that you have to switch something up and probably let go of something really what you consider very meaningful right now. So let's look at the central position, no place like home. This is everything to you right now. This is not only your central position, but it's on the inside of two dark cards. And again, when I say dark, I just mean um, there's a lot of mulling energy going on here. This isn't expansive energy. This is mulling, very earthy energy. So something's happening here, or something needs to happen here, where there needs to be. You need to let something go. But this is not necessarily emotional. This looks like it's very, very much in the physical realm, in the material world. So with the no place like home, we have not only the purple and the mauve, which is, of course, we know that's ascension energy, ascension color, but you're coming up on this huge stalk and you're sort of dangling over this gorgeous property and there's a light on within and the moon in the back. So you're feeling very content. You feel very supported here, but you might also be a little excluded and I would even say isolated. And again, if you're a Cancer, that's not the worst thing in the world, right? There's nothing better than having your own little space and your cozy little home and nothing ever really gets changed and you can count on that sort of like comfort where everything's the same. However, these are making their way into your week and this is extremely positive for you because this is the message. I really feel for you. The message, the goal here this week, and just quickly between the two intellectual and emotional worlds, air and water here, it could even have been the conflict over this past amount of time avoiding this because you recognize it on an intellectual level, but were unable or unwilling on an emotional level. Cancer, which is again perfectly understandable. But these are showing up on either side of your no place like home because something needs to change here. What? That's up to you, right? This is a general meeting. Reading this isn't going to be the same, what needs to be changed for everybody. But in terms of what do you need to know, two very significant changes need to be made here. And the first being clean it up. This is really about non-avoidance. It is the opposite of just getting by. You're not going with the flow here. You need to face this. Now, is this in the material world? Do you just need to clean up your closet or a junk drawer? Sure. Maybe you're that Cancer with one junk drawer, okay? Unlike the rest of us who have more than one. Um, but I'm going to guess that it's something a little bit more complicated and a little bit more involved than just that little drawer that no one can see. This is going to create an impact to not only your home the way you see it, but your home in the way that others see it and whatever your home means to you. If you're a traveler or on the road or you don't have your own fixed address at this time, where you hang your hat is your home. So there is going to be some change here, but it's up to you to do this, and you're expected to do this, okay? But it's also in your best interest, Cancer. So this isn't a burden. Please don't look at this as though it were a burden, but something needs to shift permanently here. This clean it up is a permanent shift, okay? So when you contemplate the terms clean it up this week, imagine what that looks like for you when you really pay attention, perhaps on an emotional level, okay, rather than intellectually. Because intellectual, especially for a Cancer, could be a little bit easy, believe it or not. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's not. Hear me out. Intellectually, it's easy to surmise and posit and make all these assumptions and even lists. But on an emotional level, this is where it could be difficult for the Cancer to actually establish or assert or manifest, because we get emotionally, I'm a Cancerian as well, we can get emotionally attached to not only how cozy things are, but how much of an upset things could cause. So just consider this temporary but beneficial in the long run. The card that's most outstanding here, that I think I'm going to speak about the least, believe it or not, because it's just so obvious and perfect to me, is that there has to be someone who's being let go here. Is it you in your circle of friends? Here, you can look at it a little bit longer here. Is it you that need to be letting the go of someone outside of yourself? So as opposed to a project, this is about a person, people, or group, or concept, or something that isn't about in the material world, like something you can physically clean up. You're going to have to leave something behind here to your own benefit. And in terms of answering the question, what do you need to know? Yes, this is necessary. On the other hand, you could be orphaned. Somebody could be leaving you. Is this going to create shock waves in your home? Not necessarily. You might have even seen it coming, and it might even be the best for both of you or all individuals involved. So I don't think it's going to be upsetting in the sense of it came out of nowhere. You didn't plan for it. It shook everything up for you. You don't know where you stand now. I don't see that. But I do see this as a necessary component to coming back down to earth and to rising from a place of stability and certainty, after having made some significant changes here. And by that, I just mean like the words are actually clean it up. So significant changes sounds a lot more imposing. If you think of what needs to be solved within the home here, or taken to task, or put in order as a type of cleaning up, I think you'll find that it's a lot easier to assess and then actually tackle if you consider it in terms of cleaning it up, giving yourself a break, getting it out of, you know, your environment or your mind space or even your heart space. So yeah, so just in terms of cleaning up, if you consider it that way, and it kind of doesn't matter where you start. If there's a lot of cleaning up to do, for example, just do it one by one. Separate it as necessary, and then tackle it one by one. All right, so I'm going to do 3 more shuffles. If we don't get a jumper, I am going to pull from the middle of the deck. All right, so we have soulmate here. So you could feel very protected by someone that you can trust and rely on here. If that's not the case and you're feeling as though you are exempt from or missing a soulmate, this could be the week to make this known to someone else. And the only other alternate way to read this is that someone who is your soulmate feels out of the loop. They want to be here for you. You're not letting them in for whatever reason. I don't see anything nasty or negative here. They see that for some reason or another, perhaps it's all the thinking and the work and the contemplation and then the discovery over what needs to be let go of, could have just been taking up your time. Alternately, if you've been looking to receive this and it hasn't been available to you, that could literally be what's going on in their world. So don't let this trip you up if you've been missing it. Let it come to you. It will, because it's here. It's available to you. Just ask or seek. On the other hand, if you feel like someone else is looking for it from you and you've been unable for whatever reason, Cancer, to provide that for your soulmate this week, make a little bit of time this week for them, because they really need this from you. They need to connect with you. So 3 more shuffles. If we don't get a jumper, as always, I will draw from the middle of the deck. All right. Oh, wow. Okay, so the Deer. This is just beautiful. One of my favorite cards, actually. I mean, it's not really fair. I say that for all the cards, kind of. But I do have my favorites. And this is one of them. So I love when I see this just show up. This is why I love pulling from the center of decks or having jumper cards, because it's not something I'm looking for. And I just love seeing this here. This, as you see, is the Deer card, and its keyword is gentleness. And I think that this is part and parcel of what's going on here. You are going to require this soulmate energy, perhaps even more this week than you normally would. Or alternately, you could need to provide it to someone else more than you normally do this week, Cancer. And I just don't see this stealing from you. It could even benefit you in terms of how to proceed with both the clean it up and the feeling orphaned or having to orphan an idea, person, or a group of people. And ultimately, with regard to how to proceed and in terms of the question, what do you need to know? I would rely on this attitude or general energy, or output, or the way that you assess any conversation or relationship or dialogue this week. Do it from a place of gentleness and certainly expect that from other people, and I think you will get it this week. Ultimately, this is lovely. Remember to be gentle. Remember that someone else needs you. You need them. Make time for them. If they haven't been able to make time for you, do not read into it. They are there for you. You just need to hold on. And they will be there. They will be made available to you this week, Cancer. And then quickly with some of the terminology in the cards, we have no place like home, clean it up, orphaned, and then message in a bottle. So as always, if you have a moment, please let me know how this plays out for you this week. Let me know if it was healing or helpful, or if something in particular came to pass for you or made sense in a significant way. And if you aren't already, subscribe to my channel. I upload videos for your sign every week. So Cancer, that concludes your reading. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, bye for now.